Hey y'all, I miss y'all so much. I haven't gone live all week this week. So I need to give you guys an update on what's been going on with me personally before we get started with today's conversation. So, oh my goodness, I want to say I feel like it started on Sunday. On Sunday, I don't know what was going on in the non-physical, but I have been in this like alchemical cauldron, if that's what you want to call it. And I have just been going through it, guys. So I did not publish my newsletter from this previous Sunday. I really needed a break, and that is why I'm doing my live right now. So I'm just trying to catch up with my physical life. And so, anyway, I don't know if you guys have been going through it as well. Maybe leave a comment below or share in the live chat if you do pop in while I'm doing this live seminar today. So feel free to share your experiences as well. But yeah, I was feeling so sad, like pure sadness and pure pain and pure hurt. And I could not do my live and do my newsletter. Like I just I could not give it my all. Like my life force was just not there. And so anyway, thank you guys for being so understanding and so loving and so supportive. I really do appreciate it. And I really do love coming and doing my YouTube lives. They literally just absolutely light me up. So I think I just saw a fairy on my computer screen, so that was pretty cool. But anyways, today I want to talk about generational trauma, what it is, how you notice it, how you catch it, how you shift out of it, all the things that come with that. And if we do have time today, I also do want to talk about dark entities, psychic attacks, possessions, clearing those out of your energy as well, if we do have time. But yeah, this theme that I've been feeling this week has definitely been about generational trauma for sure. And I wanted to talk about it on Monday, but like I just did not have it in me to talk about it. So whatever, we're doing it today. Okay, so go ahead and grab a journal, piece of paper, pen, pencil, whatever it is that you want to use to take notes, because this is really important. So before I started this live video, I actually set the intention that this video reaches the souls who it needs to reach at this time for their highest contracts and the highest good of all involved. So if you are watching this video, please take notes. Okay. So I just want to talk about what is generational trauma, and let's just unpack this for a second. Generational trauma is, basic definition is low vibrational behavioral patterns, energy, curses, dysfunctional behaviors, all of that repeating over generations, okay? Because I feel like a lot of people don't really describe what trauma is, and trauma is just, it's everything that isn't pure unconditional love, really, is what it is, okay? Which is super deep, super high in consciousness, but anyways. And so, for example, on my mom's bloodline, I didn't meet my grandfather on my mom's side of the family in the physical, but I did meet my grandmother on my mom's side of the family. And so anyway, when I was a kid and I would observe her behavior, I would talk to her when I was a child, okay, even a teenager. And I didn't get to see her as a young adult because she passed away. But as a child and a teenager, I saw my grandmother behaving the way she was, and I perceived that as normal, because what happens is when we're kids, we absorb everything around us like a sponge, 24/7, like clockwork, okay? And I'm not really sure what age we stop doing that, if there is an age that we stop doing that, but I feel like it levels off maybe like age 10, or I don't really know, because in my own energy healing, in my own inner work, I have actually released things that I absorbed in teenagehood and young adulthood, but just a little bit. But the majority of it did come from childhood. And so anyway, what we're around in childhood really impacts us on how we think, what kind of thoughts we start thinking, the different belief systems that we develop, our expectations that form from those belief systems, our attitudes, which manifest from those expectations, which influences our behavior, which then results in our vibrational state of being, okay, which is our vibration, our current state of vibration. And so anyway, when you have two bloodlines, okay, your ancestors, your grandparents, your parents, whoever is raising you, and you have them 24/7 around you, just instilling these low vibrational thoughts, belief systems, expectations, attitudes, behaviors, your state of being, your vibration, state of being, an equal sign, is going to be low. Okay, so, if you're here watching this video, you grew up with a very similar upbringing that I did, which was being around narcissists. And what do? They want to siphon all of your life force energy that they can possibly get from you, okay? And they're basically just energy vampires. And it has to do with their own trauma that they went through, their own generational trauma. Okay, narcissists, from what I've gathered so far, is narcissists form like that. How do I want to describe this? That energy manifests from within because those souls feel very deeply insecure with themselves. They absorb tons of guilt and shame from their parental figures growing up. And anyway, and it's not even just like a one-time absorption. It's like constant guilt, constant shame. And it severely wounds their inner child. And so anyway, and then they go and wound other people's inner child, like empaths, right? And so anyways, it's a whole thing. And so, and then you have your mom, and then you have your dad, and they create you. And so the question is, how do you spot what is dysfunctional? How do you know what is healthy when there's no healthiness around you, when there's nothing to compare it to? Okay, because I didn't have anything to compare it to until I started doing the energy healing on myself. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why are people still behaving this way? Why are people still thinking this way? Why are people still believing in these belief systems? Why do they have the attitudes that they do, right? So I'm trying to think, what is the biggest thing I can think of for my mom's bloodline that was just repeating? Ooh, that just came to me. Okay. So alcoholism. How do you spell alcohol? I think it's ale. Alcohol. It's early in the morning, Al. I've got a busy day today, so that's why I'm doing my live this morning. Oh yeah, alcoholism. So, is it new or true or no past, no present, no future? Yep. Okay. This is something that a lot of y'all don't know about me if you didn't grow up with me in South Carolina, which is I used to drink my freaking face off. Like, I started drinking when I was like 15 years old, and I used to get into a lot of craziness when I was younger. And so anyway, because I didn't have access to energy healing and I wasn't aware that I could heal myself, I didn't know about conscious expanding things. I didn't know any of this stuff in this world, in this realm. And so what happens is, because generationally through my mom's bloodline, the way they coped with their trauma was using alcohol, with substance abuse, okay? And naturally, right, like I resorted to just everything that I knew that was familiar, because everything that we absorb in childhood becomes our familiar. And so when I got old enough to basically start living my life, I thought, well, I don't know how to deal with all this trauma that I absorbed. I don't know. I don't want to feel it. Okay. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't know how to deal with it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to repeat generational trauma, and I'm going to go get drunk all the time. I'm going to go live in the bars, because this is the only way I know how to cope with the trauma that I got. trying to think what else was down my mom's bloodline. Oh yeah. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember if poverty was on my dad's or mom's bloodline. I think it was my dad's bloodline. I don't know. We're just going to go poverty over here. That's another thing I want to talk about too, is how generational trauma can really set you back financially. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's still coming up. It's still going to surface, really. I feel like I have these cycles that I'm going through right now, which is these cycles of anger and cycles of this like sacred rage. And I'm not giving myself 100% full permission to feel it, because as a Cancer rising, I feel emotions so intensely and so much like more frequently than other people do with other placements in their charts and stuff. And so anyway, which affect my decision making, by the way. It's like I have to go through that emotional intensity before I can start making decisions rationally. But anyways, and so because poverty got passed down generationally through my dad's bloodline, and I think my mom's bloodline too, I can't remember, but I never knew how to manage my money. I didn't know how to maintain money. I had no idea what to do with money. Okay. It just never made sense to me. The only thing I knew what to do with money was to go work a job and then just constantly use the money to spend things that I wanted or needed, and then just keep going and working and working and working. I never learned how to invest. I never learned, I didn't even know that you could go to your social security account and make a freaking My Social Security account on the portal, like on the website, and you can watch your social security benefits accrue. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know about a Roth IRA, which is an investment retirement account, which basically means by the time you retire, you can pull that money out tax-free and live off of it when you're old. Okay, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know how to fund that. I didn't know how to start one. I didn't know how to open that. I didn't know about brokerage accounts. I didn't know about how to invest in cryptocurrency. I didn't know about precious metals until I got, I knew a little bit about precious metals because my grandfather told me he got us like, a gift when we were 18, but he never explained the importance of what it was and why that mattered. Like, we didn't know anything about finances. And I say we, talking about me and my twin sister, but I didn't know what a money market account was. I didn't know that there was a website where you could go and compare all of the different money market rates where you can get the best interest. So basically they have different money market accounts through credit unions, banks, and online, and different money market accounts give you different percentages. And so say, for example, this one gives you like 5% back on your cash. This one gives you like 1% back. This one gives you 0.5%. Of course, you're going to want to get the 5% back, right? Like, you're going to want to pick the one that gives you the most money back. Didn't know that existed. I didn't know that was even real. Okay. So when I tell you guys, I literally started from nothing. I mean that. I literally came from fucking nothing. I came from fucked up, dysfunctional shit. Okay. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I do not look like what I have been through. I always shock people. And I probably I don't look like what I've been through because of how much energy healing I've done on myself. And had you seen me before I did my energy healing, then you would probably believe me. But because when we do so much energy healing on ourselves, we actually change on a cellular level. So your skin looks different, your face shape changes, like your whole energy changes, right? It makes sense. Like, you're going from low vibration to high vibration. And so naturally you're going to shift. So y'all might go through that experience too. Like, when you start really healing yourselves and diving deep, and you're going to run into people who are like, you don't look like what you've been through. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I understand Grayson now. But yeah, I have learned so fucking much on my own, like, just from being connected to the non-physical. It's not even funny. Like, thank God I have my non-physical connection, because if I didn't, I would be totally screwed in this lifetime. I'm feeling called to show you guys something that I created a couple days ago. And so, wait, these are my new ones. Let's see. Oh, they're right here. 1 second. So talking about this generational trauma, it's going to expand your consciousness. It's going to make a massive impact on your consciousness. And literally that's like, I feel like my purpose is to make a massive impact on humanity's consciousness in all the ways, which goes for sexually, financially, in all the good ways, right, that benefit you and the highest good of all involved. And so I just want to show you guys, for those of y'all who also grew up like me, who have like no fucking idea what to do with how to manage their money and all that stuff. I created a file system for myself. So I have tax returns. So at the end of the year, or not the end of the year, but the end of tax season, just print out your tax returns and put them in this folder. My rule of thumb is keep the records for 7 years, because I think that's like the cutoff of when the IRS audits you or whatever. And I'm sure this is going to expand and improve like the older I get and the more life experience I get. But for now, this is for those who literally have zero awareness and zero consciousness of where all of their money is. And I feel like when we talk about money, all you think about is like your job, but no, like you have money everywhere. And this is going to help you expand your money consciousness and also help you break out of more generational trauma. So, and then my second one is my Social Security folder. So I think it's either every month or every quarter. I can't remember what it is. You can literally go on the Social Security website, make a free account, and you can literally watch how much benefits you're getting. Let me see my last statement. I think it's monthly. Yeah, anyways. So yeah, every month I print out how much benefits I made for that cycle. And then also, if you got divorced with a loved one, keep your old marriage certificate, because the Social Security Administration told me that I could get money from keeping that certificate. There was something about claiming like an auxiliary spouse or something. I can't remember what she said. I'm going to have to call her back, but yeah, keep that for your records. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, retirement accounts. So the only retirement account that I have right now is a Roth IRA. So Roth IRA is basically a brokerage account where you just invest in different things and you can't pull the money out. It just sits there and accrues and accrues and accrues. So you really want to invest in the best things as possible. So that way you can withdraw like a ton of money by the time you're old, right? Because who wants to be like in their 60s and 70s? You know, if you're following the more traditional route where you're like trying to retire at that age, you know, you don't want to be screwed and have like nothing or have like $6,000, you know, like you want to have a good amount of money in there to live off of. And, you know, if you retire with like almost like $1 million or 500K or 100K or something, like you could literally spend the last of your days here, like cruising around the world and living on a cruise ship. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different things you could do, but, and then I have a folder for investment accounts, my savings and checking, household accounts. So I have a folder, you know, for the rental lease and any security deposits that you pay. I don't own a home, so, you know, home owning stuff would go in there if I owned a home. Credit card debt folder, liabilities. I didn't know what a fucking liability was. Okay. I have a car, and I bought a car back in 2019. I want to say it looked like October, which I'm almost close to paying it off. I'm so close. But basically that car payment for the brand new car, it's a liability. It's considered a liability because it's not fully paid off. And technically like the bank still owns it. And so anyway, insurance. So I have my car insurance here. I have a folder for a will and a trust. I didn't even fucking know how to do that, or even how to go about that situation. You basically just get an attorney, and you just want to wait until your net worth hits at least 100K. That's like a basic rule of thumb that I have. Just wait until you hit 100K in your net worth. Or, I mean, I think there's a free little portal or something that you can do with that. But I'm personally taking a different route, which is just my journey, you know, so you do you. I grew up with attorneys, so you really want to make sure that, you know, you handle stuff like that professionally, because the system is designed to fuck you over. So yeah, you just want to make sure you get an attorney to go about that route is what I would recommend. But like I said, you do you, boo. And then the last thing, I have this this little inventory thing from this book that I'm reading called Smart Women Finish Rich. And so yeah, having these folders and checking all of this stuff quarterly, yearly, monthly, okay, that is going to expand your money consciousness, your wealth consciousness. And right, whenever you expand your consciousness, your stream of consciousness, more energy can flock to you, more high vibrational energy can flock to you, okay? So you're going to open yourself up to financial security, financial freedom, financial abundance, financial stability. You're going to break out of generational trauma, this generational poverty that has been repeating for who knows how long, okay? Oh yeah, I didn't mention precious metals. But basically what I do is, I think it was back in 2021, I got the recommendation to purchase silver coins. There was a really heavy emphasis on silver. And for those of you who don't know about precious metals, I go to JM Bullion is what it's called. And you can buy gold coins from there, silver coins, platinum, if you want to go crazy, okay? Yeah, really, really, really good investment to have. So it's really good to have a diverse investment. Oh, and also with cryptocurrencies, I use Coinbase. And so if you're brand new to crypto, no worries. I feel like it took me to teach myself how to like maneuver it and stuff. I still need to learn about cold wallets and all that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. So I currently still have my crypto on the blockchain. So I'm not like, I haven't pulled it off the blockchain, which basically means, so say for example, I have like $100 worth of Bitcoin or 500. I can't remember how much I have, but say for example, I have $100 of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin skyrockets to 100K. Okay, now I have $500 worth of Bitcoin because the value of Bitcoin went up. Well, if I wanted to, if I had a cold wallet or a hard wallet or whatever they call it, where you can pull it off the blockchain and like keep it physically, like a physical wallet. I know it's so intense, so a lot of information, but you can actually pull it off the blockchain and pull it off from where it was valued at $500. And there's like a way to make money off of it and a way to pull your own digital crypto off the blockchain. So it's not just sitting there and it's not going up and down. It's not super volatile. Like you can literally pull it. I haven't fully figured that out yet. So it's just currently sitting on the blockchain, which I haven't felt a sense of urgency to, from the non-physical to be like guided to get a hard wallet or a cold wallet or anything yet, but I know I will soon. Anyways, and so yeah, it's really good to have baseline precious metals, a retirement account, okay, maybe a brokerage account if that resonates with you, a money market account. Don't use a savings account. It's literally like robbery, okay? Money market. What else? Crypto. Like, just please go learn and explore crypto. Like, you know, take $20. Like, you're gonna spend $20 on some stupid shit anyway. Like, you might as well just put it towards something that can potentially make you money back, right? Oh yeah, and then I'm not an affiliate marketer or anything. There is this one app that I did recently find. It's called Upside, and you can literally get money back from going to certain gas stations, certain restaurants. You just have to scan the receipt where you paid for the stuff. And so anyway, that's been giving me money back. So you really you're trying to figure out how to expand your money consciousness, your money energy, your wealth matrix, like all of that, right? Because you know what's so fucked up, guys? I think it was a couple of years ago, when I was first learning about Roth IRAs and all that shit, like I literally learned about that on my own. I did not have anybody else to teach me that. I learned about that by TikTok, podcasts, you know, all that kind of stuff. I didn't have a family member to teach me anything, nothing, okay? I emailed my grandfather and I said, have you ever heard of a Roth IRA? Because he's this medical malpractice attorney. And he's like, yeah, I have one. Why? And I'm like, so you literally have knowledge about what a Roth IRA is and you didn't share that with your grandchildren? Like, you didn't want to perpetuate generational wealth? Like, you literally are a gatekeeping ass motherfucker. Like, fuck you. I told you guys I have so much anger and rage, like, especially with my dad's side of the family. Oh my gosh. I saw this one TikTok, this guy, he was like mouthing off that one new song by Kendrick Lamar where it's like, now let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you walk. I'm like, that's me. That is me with this side of the family. Oh my gosh. I was like, repost. I wish I could repost this 1,000 times. But anyways. I'm just going to check the time. So yeah. So much gatekeeping is also in these dysfunctional, fucked up family dynamics, okay? This bloodline, I would say, gate kept a lot of wealth information. Gate kept a lot of career information, I would say. Those were like the two biggest themes, which is so hilarious because I'm actually contracted to surpass them financially. So I cannot wait to laugh at them. I know I really shouldn't do that, but like, oh my gosh. Emotional me is like, oh, you just wait till you get to the other side. I can't wait to laugh at you. Anyways, so yeah, let's see. So wealth was gate capped. And career information was gate capped. And when I say career information, I'm talking about like, for example, I didn't know about the importance of networking. I didn't know that it was okay and that it was safe to be myself in those kinds of settings. When I was a child, I watched them interact with people like my grandparents, my dad, and just like everybody on that side of the family. I watched all of them interact with tons of groups of people, like just doing the whole fake shit. You know what I mean? Where they're like, oh, like just not being themselves. Like, they're doing the fake voice and the fake laugh and just the fake everything. And I never thought that was normal. I just absorbed it. Like, I observed it. I wouldn't say I absorbed it because I'm a real ass bitch. Like, you feel me? It's Sagittarius moon, and I feel like my Sag energy is just coming way out right now. Anyways, nature is like hella supporting my energy right now. Tons of truth, okay? Tons of unconditional truth. So yeah, I watched them just not be themselves. And so when I started networking, I was scared. Like, I was scared to be myself. I was scared to fully express who I am authentically, which I did the energy healing around that to correct that old trauma, right? To release that trauma out of my energy, which I would say the majority of that kind of trauma came from like past lifetimes, and a little bit came from this lifetime, but I would say it was like more of, being killed off and previous lifetimes where I was like burned at the stake and murdered and waterboarded. I mean, you name it. Like, I went through it. We're doing what I'm doing today. We're just teaching you guys how to heal yourself, okay? And so yeah, they were both Capricorns, so they knew a lot of information about money. First of all, staying at my grandma and my granddad on my dad's side of the family. They knew about precious metals. They knew about retirement accounts. They knew about different things, and they did not share that stuff with me and my twin sister on purpose. They gatekept that information on purpose. And so guess what? They're getting ready to pass away and cross over to the other side, or maybe get stuck in the lower astral. Honestly, in this moment in time, I don't really give a fuck. So, sounds heartless, but you know what I mean? Like, y'all would feel the same way y'all went through what I went through. But now, in order to break this generational trauma from my dad's bloodline, oh yeah, this is coming through. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I could forget this. Relationships. Oh my goodness. The other day I was doing inner work, and I I downloaded that there was generational curses over my dad's bloodline. Lots of souls have curses on both the mom and dad bloodline. So you can have curses around money, around sex, around relationships. It could be around anything. Okay. There were curses on my dad or in my dad's bloodline around relationships. And I thought, oh my God, that makes so much sense. They were cursed, I think it was 12 generations back. I can't remember what the number was, but so many generations back, they got cursed, which basically means the way you get cursed is you have to be existing at a low vibrational state of being, okay? You have to be at a low vibrational state of being in order to connect vibrationally with negative intentions, with low intentions. When you're vibrating, when your state of being is super high vibrational, like you're in, like, I wouldn't say total 5D, but a combination of like 4D and 5D energies, all right? Like the questioning energies, the expansive energies, not so much the contracted energies, right? Like you're stuck in your ways, you're just staying here and you're refusing to let go, you're refusing to change. When you're in this expansive questioning state of being, questioning your reality, questioning your generations, questioning your life, that kind of energy, it's a lot harder for that energy to stay in vibrational alignment with you. So the more that your consciousness expands, and the reason why I go up is because it's literally expanding. Like I would say conscious expansion goes out like more like this. Like it starts like this contracted and then it goes out, and out. However, vibrationally in alignment with that negative energy, if you're still the contracted like place of consciousness, you're going to be in perfect vibrational match to have that energy surround you. And so what happens is all of those family members who never raised their frequency, who never expanded their consciousness, and who just stayed low vibey for so many generations, were in vibrational alignment with being cursed, hexed, all the different crazy shit, right? And so anyway, yeah, there were curses on relationships on my dad's bloodline. And I thought, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Why? Because for those of y'all who haven't seen my relationship video, get prepared to get triggered. There was inverted polarity happening for so many generations that it was like, by the time I came here, it was like normal, okay? Inverted polarity is when a feminine soul gets pushed into the masculine energy and a masculine soul gets pushed into the feminine. And then they come into relationship together and they literally mirror inverted polarity. And so what happens is in that kind of relationship dynamic, so I'm straight, so I'm going to use the typical male-female guide. What happens is the male gets into the relationship with the female and the male says, I want a mom because I never had a mom. I feel very insecure. I need my mother. I need my mother inside of you, okay? Because I never had one. I never had a mom. I never healthily, emotionally connected to my mom. And because of that, I don't value women. I actually hate you. I hate you for what you're doing. I want you in this relationship, but subconsciously, I can't fucking stand you. I literally hate you for honoring this trauma, okay? Like, this is literally what happens. And then the woman, okay, I went through this, right? Because I repeated, like most people, generational trauma, you have to break down in order to like go through, and shatter through the bullshit. And so what I did when I got into that same relationship dynamic was subconsciously I was going, I need my dad because I never had a dad. I never had a healthy dad. I never formed healthy emotional bonds with my parental figures. I only formed trauma bonds. So trauma is the only thing that I know that's only familiar. And generationally, the only thing that I knew to do was to repeat taking care of the man in the house because that's what I watched both of my bloodlines do. So I thought this was normal behavior. And so what do I want to do? I want to take care of you and provide for you. I want to be the man in the relationship while deep down I fucking hate you for it. I'm resenting you for this. Oh, you're not being a man. I am being the man in the relationship, right? Like you're getting it's just an explosion. It's literally a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off. And those relationships never work out. Never, never, never. You will never experience total harmony, total balance in your energies because the energies are inverted. So one of the things I want to point out really quick is, I think, yeah, you can go, there's this app, it's called Horos, Horos, and you can actually download it on your phone, run your birth chart, and you can literally see the yin and the yang percentage. So you can see how feminine your soul is and how masculine it is. Or you can just channel it. But basically, my soul, it's like 60% feminine and 40% masculine. And so everybody has like different percentages. I have never seen a soul that's like actually 50-50. It's always been 60-40 or like weird different percentages. Anyways, it's so funny because I ran my uncle's birth chart, I think last night, and he has a very feminine soul. And it's funny because his relationship dynamic, he's like the receiver in his relationship, and my aunt is like a provider in a way. And so anyways, I think that's so funny. I'm like, whatever works for y'all, you know what I mean? But me, I'm the receiver because I'm more feminine in soul nature. And so you can go run your birth chart. Oh my gosh, I need to get skinnier markers. It's like 60 and then 40. So feminine, masculine. And so what happens is, because we live in a polarizing universe, okay, and every soul, whether you're male or female, every soul has both feminine and masculine energies. However, every soul has different percentages of feminine and masculine energies. And this is why you will notice the inverted polarity in many different relationships. You will notice when you start healing yourself. Oh my gosh, this happened to me. I think, when was the first time I felt that? I think it was actually in 2023, last year, when I started healing my feminine energy. And so naturally, when you get traumatized as a feminine soul, that's what I'm going to say. When you go through a lot of trauma that hardens your energy, you typically resort to the masculine because you resort to this energy of, oh my gosh, nobody around me knows how to protect or provide for me, so I'm just going to do it myself. Like, I'm just going to stay hardened in this little safe bubble, but you're really not safe. It's like this illusionary safe bubble that you think you're in. And so anyway, you get stuck in your masculine energy. That's why we see a lot of masculine women around this planet, because they are literally so traumatized. They are so hardened from all the fucking bullshit they went through from both of their bloodlines, okay? And so what happens is, because a lot of these women get stuck in their masculine energy, what happens is they attract their counterpart, usually a karmic partner. The karmic partner shows them what they need to heal within, okay, which is why they never last. Those karmic relationships never last. They're not meant to last contractually, okay? And so what happens is they attract a feminine man if you're in a straight relationship, you know? So they're going to attract the receiver because they're stuck in the providing protector energy, because they don't feel safe to receive. All the trauma they went through, they're like, fuck that. I'm not fucking going to be vulnerable, because the last time I was vulnerable, I got sexually abused by my uncle at 6 years old. Like, fuck no. I'm not going to fucking open up to a man. I don't feel safe to open up to men. They don't feel safe to me. Okay. And so what needs to happen is, you have to go deeper. You have to go deeper with energy healing. You need to heal your masculine energy, so that way internally you feel safe to fall back on your own masculine energy. You feel safe within your own sacred masculine energy. And then the masculine within will start holding space for your feminine, which then this is going to start showing up in your reality, which is literally what happened to me. Oh my gosh, crazy story. I'm going to try not to do so many side tangents. But I was healing my masculine for like, I think a year straight it was. I think I was healing it for a year straight. And eventually I started attracting my first soulmate partner. I'm not going to go into it, but he actually showed up at this gym that I was working at. I had no idea he was a soulmate partner, and actually just found out very recently. But because I was healing my masculine energy, I was at a point where I could focus on healing my feminine and allowing myself to feel the excruciating pain that I went through, the excruciatingly intense emotions that I went through that were all suppressed from childhood, right? Because remember, I suppressed it with alcohol and many other things, okay? And so then eventually, because my masculine energy was at a point where it could hold me and hold space for me, and my feminine was healing, then I got to a point where I started to shift back into my feminine energy. I started to naturally feel more of the receiving energy, the more surrender energy, the more softer energy, the more boundary setting energy. Okay, like, you're not gonna fucking speak to me like that. I'm gonna call you the fuck out. I wish your fucking energy back to you. I don't care who's looking or watching. I do not care. Kind of energy. Okay. Now that I have shifted back into my feminine, now what happens is I attract men and they're masculine. And what happens is there's this, it feels so good. Oh my gosh, when y'all start doing this healing work, I can't wait for you to feel it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you really do the deep work of healing your masculine, feminine energy, figure out where you naturally lean. And you can also channel too, like what kind of contracts, like what kind of relationships you chose to experience in this lifetime. So even though you are a feminine soul, like maybe you chose to experience a masculine soul and a partner. I don't know. Everyone's relationship contracts are different. My contracts, I came here, in order for me to step in and make a massive impact on the consciousness of humanity, I have to be supported by the masculine. Have to. I have to have a masculine partner. I have to be with a man who is in provider, protector energy. He has to be replicating what I'm already doing for myself. Okay. So if you don't know what your relationship contracts are, that's something really fun that you can channel within. If you don't know how to channel, you can go back and revisit my beginner playlist. And I can teach you basically how to start channeling for yourself. But yeah, anyways, once you correct that inverted polarity and now your feminine and masculine are flowing how they're supposed to flow, you're naturally going to polarize with somebody always. So one person is always going to be, I wouldn't say like 24/7, but the majority of the time, one person is always going to be in their feminine and one person is majority of the time going to be in their masculine. Which is why you see a lot of those women on TikTok, they call a lot of the feminine men princesses, right? Because a lot of men are wounded in their feminine energy because a lot of them didn't have healthy moms. Okay. They feel very insecure. Their wounded inner child feel very insecure with themselves. And because the problem with those kind of men is those men have to learn how to nurture themselves. They have to learn how to basically reparent themselves and remother themselves so that they're not seeking that out in another woman. Right. Just like how a lot of women who are wounded in their masculine energy, they have to learn how to provide and protect for themselves and strengthen and heal their masculine. So they're going to see that in a masculine partner. They're going to start attracting the masculine man that they actually want. And so anyways, so yeah, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say about that in particular. So yeah, basically I'm here. I incarnated in these particular bloodlines to break generational trauma, generational curses, to go, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing inverted polarity relationships anymore. You're going to show up into the relationship 100% self-reliant. I'm going to show up into this relationship 100% self-reliant. God forbid something happens to either one of us. That way we can step in and provide and protect for each other. We can nurture each other, right? Like there is a healthy polarization going on. So my soul said, enough is enough. This is unacceptable. This is fucking stopping with me. Okay. So if I procreate, it's going to be the highest vibrational relationship dynamic that exists within this universe, which is the provider-receiver relationship dynamic. Okay. This can apply to straight relationships, homo relationships, any kind of relationship. All right. The highest vibrational relationship dynamic that a soul can experience in this universe, in this lifetime, in this world is a provider-receiver relationship. And you will feel that energetically when you start healing your feminine and masculine energy. I actually made a Heal Your Wounded Masculine Energy video. I think it's, if you go under my videos tab, you'll find it. But anyways, let me see the time. We're at 45 minutes. Okay, good. Okay, so here we are. I have removed all generational curses off of my bloodlines. And any man that knows, any man that has approached me knows, like, you have to do a lot of work to keep up with a woman like me. You have to show me what you bring to my table in order to be a part of a relationship, in order to get access to my abundance, my connection to the non-physical, my life force energy. Okay, what are you going to do to bring value into my life? How are you going to make my life better, right? It's basically like talking to your own masculine energy. You know what I mean? So anyway, so yeah, I intimidate a lot of men, which is kind of funny. I make a lot of them nervous, and I'm like, good, you should be nervous. Because they know I'll call them out on their bullshit. So anyway, yeah, poverty. Currently breaking this. I'm not broke, not in poverty, but I would say I'm not at the level of financial freedom that I'm at right now, and it's because of safety reasons. My purpose with this lifetime, I've been told by so many mediums and psychics that I have a higher calling, and that's not in an ego way. It's a safety way. Like, I have not fully stepped in because of safety concerns. If I were to step in at the capacity I'm meant to step out in, my life would be at risk. And so that is why I am not at the level of finances that I want to be at. But this is like no more, right? Like, I showed you my folder file system. If you just popped into the live, be sure to rewind this and go back and look at it. I basically show you where to put your money consciousness, how to expand your wealth matrix. That way you can start attracting more money, more finances, more stability, more security, okay, more freedom, if you value those things. And then career. So yeah, like I said, I'm at this kind of like a holding pattern almost. The biggest way I can step in right now is doing my YouTube lives, which I love. They light me up so much because I love teaching everybody how to heal themselves and how to release trauma out of their energy. And while I know it fucking sucks and it fucking hurts and it stings, it's like pulling a bullet out of your arm. You're like, oh, and then like once it's gone, like you feel better. Same kind of thing. And so anyway, yeah, I'm trying to think. So career, I would say I'm still networking. I'm still connecting with a lot of people. And I feel like when I do network, I feel like there's this newer energy of like authenticity and just being so fucking like raw and vulnerable. And people are just not used to that, right? Because they have repeated so much generational trauma for so many years that they don't feel safe to be themselves. And so when they get into those public social settings, like you've got the generational shit that you learned from your dad and your mom and your grandparents on both sides. And then you've got past lifetime shit where you were traumatized or killed off or whatever, who knows God what you went through, right? And then you like go and immerse yourself in those social settings. And then someone starts asking you questions about what it is that you do. And you're like, I don't know how to be myself. Like, I don't feel safe being myself. And you just like hide behind this mask, or, you know, you hide behind this fake like facade or personality. And you want to say, I think it was the first networking event I went to in May of last year. Oh my God, it was so epic, y'all. I hope this inspires you. So if you've been following me for a while, you know, like I talk about literally everything under the sun. And so I haven't talked too much about like the interdimensional beings. I've touched on them briefly, but I was talking to this real estate dude. He had his own podcast. He was super successful. Anyways, I could just like feel his energy. Like he was such a businessman, and I love talking to him. And so anyway, it was a small group. We were like on the second floor of this movie theater, and there was like a mixture of so many people. There was like a cake lady, there was a photography person, there was like a painter dude in there, and there was this guy I was talking to. He was like into real estate and podcasting and all that, and comes up to me and he goes, "So what do you do? Like, what is it that you do?" And I said, I basically teach people how to heal themselves. I teach people how to release trauma out of their energy, especially sexual trauma. And I said, what did I say? I don't know. I can't remember what I said, but I just remember in that moment, I made the choice to go, I'm not going to fucking put on a facade. I'm not going to hide behind a mask. I'm going to fucking be myself, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, no matter how nervous I feel, like no matter how much I'm sweating in my armpits. Like, I don't care. I'm just going to like just do it. And I'm just going to go for it. And I did. And it was so liberating. And he literally says, in the second I made that choice in that moment, the next question that came out of his mouth was, what do you know about the reptilians? And I was like, no fucking way. Like this guy who looks like he works in the Matrix, like who's so connected, like, you know, with the typical societal belief system. I'm like, he's asking me about something like somebody like me would only know about. I'm like, this is not happening right now. And it was so cool. We were like talking for like, I don't even know, like 45 minutes about it. And anyway, I just remember like looking around after the end of our conversation, and like the networking host, like the person who was running it, like all those people who were like still over there were all staring at us talking, like just so fascinated and just so encapsulated by everything we were discussing. And so anyway, it was amazing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. In that moment, I realized I'm like, I can be myself. I can talk about shit that's going to trigger people. Like I can just do what I came here to do, which is making an impact on people's consciousness. Like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like I could actually be me. I could be myself. Like it was exciting. And so anyway, back to career. So yeah, the career stuff is basically like, the only words I know how to put to it is fucking around and finding out. And so you're just fucking around and seeing what works, and fucking around and seeing what doesn't work. And then eventually you start connecting with all kinds of people. And because your consciousness is literally like, I feel like you're like in this like interconnected web of souls. And it's like, you could easily go here, or you could easily go here, or you could easily go here. Anyway, it expands your consciousness by going to networking events and getting uncomfortable, putting yourself into those kinds of situations. And yeah, anyways, so I'm breaking that. And as for my mom's bloodline, I would say there was a lot of just looking directly at my mom. I don't know what label to put to this, but I'm just going to describe it. It's this energy of, I behave this way, I do this, I think this way because this is what my dad did and this is what my mom did. And so I'm going to be stubborn and stay in my old ways. And I'm not going to make the choice to let this go. I'm going to choose to keep this as a part of my personality because that's what feels safe for me, right? Like my familiar, my trauma, it feels safe. And I'm not ready to witness this unresolved trauma. I'm not ready to feel this excruciating pain that I know comes with witnessing this trauma. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to copy what my parents did, and I'm just going to play it safe. Okay. That does way more harm than good. And I tell this like to my mom all the time and other people. I'm like, you know what? You're not going to die from feeling your pain. You're not going to die from feeling your emotions. Like, I know it's going to fucking hurt. It does hurt. It does sting. It's going to feel very triggering, okay? But it's going to feel so much better when it's out of your energy permanently. Like, wouldn't you want to... This is like the best way I can describe it. It's like constantly feeling a bunch of like knives jabbing at you versus like floating in the ocean. Like, wouldn't you want to feel calm all the time? Like, wouldn't you want to feel relaxed all the time? Like, who wants to feel like they're in pain all the time? Because when you're really not choosing to let go of this trauma, you're choosing to still feel that pain in one shape or another. And so you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off. Like, you know, stop adding acid to it. Stop thinking you can cover it up when you really can't. And just feel your shit. Like, just feel your, like, you can do this. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a phone call from my apartment complex. Hopefully my live is still here. Okay. I'm just going to cut this video here because I've got some home stuff to deal with. So anyway, I feel like I didn't get to talk about everything I wanted to talk about today, so that's okay. But anyways, if you guys are on this journey of unlearning a lot of stuff that you grew up experiencing, if you feel alone, if you feel like you don't have any family members that you can talk to, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I have to answer this phone call. Give me 1 second. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you. Bye. Anyways, human stuff, life stuff. Yeah, I have to go because I have maintenance people coming here to fix my AC. So anyways, if you guys feel alone with your family members, you feel like you have literally nobody to talk to, nobody to confide in, no support, no sense of community whatsoever. I am here to create community for those individuals, for those who feel like an outcast, for those who feel like the black sheep, for those who feel like they don't fit in or belong. And yeah, you guys are welcome to come and vibe with me on YouTube. Maybe we can expand out and do like our own little group somewhere, like on a Discord or something. I don't know. If that resonates, drop a comment below. Anyways, I got to cut it here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you so, so much. And I will see you guys in the next live video.